Hi. So, it's pretty early. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you remember from my last vlog, I got that new Honda and I'm pretty excited to try it. And that's what we're going to do. Now, we're not going to the track that I normally ride at. We're going to one that's a long ways away, hence the 6 o'clock in the morning, get up, load up, and get ready to go. But it's going to be really cool because the track is going to be really, really rough. It's going to test out the suspension on that thing. I'll let you know what I think. But I know one thing, I'm really excited, but I also really need a coffee, so let's do that.
So you try to come up with the highest of feelings, but they say there ain't nothing new under the sun. So you're born to touch any of the cold waters, 'cause sometimes love ain't that thing you're afraid of. Your vision's gone.
Hi there, can I get a large black coffee?
For sure.
Do you have any egg white bites?
Unfortunately, our egg bites have been discontinued.
Oh, that's okay. And can I get a 10-pack of Timbits?
10 packets of Timbits for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Black coffee and the 10 Timbits will be $4.51.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, as per the usual standard, we got our coffee. And like I said, we got a bit of a drive ahead of us. It's about 3.5 hours from where I am to get there, because the track that I normally ride at is it's swamped out because of spring. So they're letting it dry up before they're letting anyone ride there. And I really want to try out this new bike, so we're gonna drive a long way and try and put some laps on this thing on a really, really beat up track and see what we think. But yeah, we got our coffee. It's a nice sunrise. It's gonna be a beautiful day, kind of springtime here. So let's get on the road and let's get down there. Okay, well, we're here. Raymond, Alberta, Temple Hill motorcycle track. It looks dry. Yeah, just if you just head straight down this road, buddy, there's a fast gas there, and they just give you a key. Well, I'm glad he asked me, because I probably would just let him right in there. And I would have broken the rules. All of the rules. There's already a few people here. It's kind of surprising. You're welcome. Okay, where to park? Where to park? Park somewhere over in the grass over yonder. Don't really need a primo parking spot like these dudes. I'm fine parking any old where.
I think maybe down that. Remember they
Down here?
Yeah.
Was there people down there?
Yeah,
last
there
time?
was. I remember they all lined up along this fence.
Yeah, I mean, I could just.
Yep. Paralleling and good news.
Okay, so here we are, Raymond, Alberta. That's a totally different track. The main track is up on this hill up here. We've got like another little area to rip around. But we're gonna try out the new bike today. Today's not about putting in hot laps or anything like that. It's gonna be just about breaking the bike in and shaking it down and seeing what I think, and actually putting what I've been told is crappy suspension, putting that to the test and seeing what I think of it. So I'm gonna unload, I'm gonna gear up, and then I'll chuck the GoPro on, and we'll do it. Okay, so I just finished breaking the bike in a little bit. You can see it's starting to look, it's got some dust on it. The track is crazy dusty, it's crazy beat up, and this is a totally new bike for me. It feels completely different than my KTM, but I went out and did maybe like 15-20 minutes, just slow, going through gears, breaking it in, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna throw my GoPro on now, and I'll go out and do a little bit more. Again, just trying to get a feel for the bike. No hard laps or nothing today. It's not about that. It's about trying to get a feel for this thing. And it feels completely different. Completely different than my KTM. It's quite crazy how different it feels. So we're gonna get used to it, but so we'll get back out there. I'll chuck the GoPro on, and you can see what this track is all about. Again, it's in bad shape. You'll see what I mean. The silt is like a foot deep. It's super slippery. But it's fun nonetheless. We're trying out a new bike, so let's try it out. My music's too loud. Music was way too loud. It's like screaming in my ears. Such a different feeling. I got traction control on, and I'm in map 2, the mellow one. It feels so much different than my KTM. Takes some getting used to. bit. If you're not used to it, the front end dives quite a bit while you ride. And I find riding it in third is better than riding it in second. It just got so much. It's got so much in second. Third is a little easier, a little more manageable. It feels like it's got a lot of inertia pushing it forward. Like it's, the KTM seems to float a little more, whereas this one just seems like it has that inertia that's trying to drive it forward. It feels pretty good in the air overall, really. The engine takes some getting used to, but it's, I do like the way it pulls. It pulls hard. And it corners really well. It cuts down a lot harder than my KTM does, so I'm so used to riding the KTM that I'm kind of oversteering. The throttle response is like instant, more so than my KTM even. It's quite touchy, and like I said, it pulls hard. It's wow, does it ever feel different? And the brakes, man, like I was expecting the brakes to be a little more gentle, especially compared to the Brembo brakes on the KTM. I was expecting them to be, you know, way less aggressive, but that's not the case. The brakes are crazy strong. I keep overjudging it, thinking that, again, it's like I'm riding my KTM, and the brakes are really touchy. It's quite impressive. I think once a person gets used to how it corners and stuff, it's going to be a wild ride. Woo! The more laps I put on it, the more fun it's getting, honestly. honestly get used to how it handles and stuff. It's quite a bike. A lot different than the European brands for sure. It does feel a little heavier than the KTM for sure. Maybe not quite as flickable in the air. It feels like with the KTM I can kind of move it around more. Pretty wicked though. And I'm not going to screw with the suspension too much, because the suspension comes off tomorrow to be sent away and get revalved and stuff, so I'm not going to dick with the suspension too much. Let these guys by me. So again, it takes a lot to get used to. But for real though, the more I ride it, the more fun it is. Different though. It does feel like you're over the front of the bike more than a KTM for sure. Try this corner in third. Feels different. The front end feels like it sits way lower. It even looks like it. Kind of feels like the front end wants to squat down. Versus the KTM feels like it's getting lifted up all the time. So it feels like if I try and get on the back as much as I do in a KTM or on the front side, it's a different feeling. different ride for sure. Sweet. Okay, let's go number one. Okay, so we got one kind of, I don't know if you want to call it moto, but we got one kind of something in on the bike, and I'm gonna go do one more. So the suspension's coming off it tomorrow to get taken in and get done, so I'm not going to adjust too much on it. It's more just kind of getting a feel for the cockpit and the rider triangle and seeing how all that stuff feels. So I'm gonna go out and do one more, and then that's gonna be it for today. So I'll top it up with some fuel, and then we'll go. Yeah, it's pretty full. It's pretty full. So I'm gonna see. It does feel like the front end's a lot lower, and that's different. Taking it easy, just doing a couple laps, getting a feel for the bike, kind of shaking it down. Pretty good. You okay, dude? You okay, buddy? What hurts, bud? What hurts? Hey?
Yeah. Neutral.
What hurts, buddy?
Nothing, I'm just winded.
Okay.
You hit neutral? Yeah. You went over the bars? Hold on, let me get. Oh. Hey, guy. He's good, he's good. Oh. Dude. Get your head? Some kid just pressed. Dirt hurts.
Can you still move everything?
Oh, I'm good, I'm good. You got a chest protector on? No. I'm good.
You good?
I just hit. Oh. Right about? No, I'm good. Oh, you're outside the gate. Alright, dude, I can take your bike back, bro. Love it, brother. Oh! Awkward. Oh, dude, right. Oh, dude. Yeah, she bites. Oh.
You good to get back to the truck and stuff, dude?
Yeah, I'll get him back there.
Okay. Okay.
No. You want to walk back? Okay, two slides are out, man. Woo!
Okay, so just got off the first ride in the 450, and there's a couple things I noticed for sure that are different than my KTM. Obviously, it's a completely different bike, but I'll touch on a couple things that I've heard other people say and whether or not I get it. The rich feeling, I don't get it at all, I'll be honest with you. Maybe a little bit off the very, very bottom, but I don't really ride there, so that doesn't seem to affect me too much. The suspension for sure. The front suspension doesn't hold up as much. The shock's not so bad. Front suspension definitely dives a little bit, so I'm looking forward to getting that done so it holds up higher into the stroke a lot. I'm looking forward to that. It pulls really hard out of corners. Like that initial is really hard. It seemed like no matter what map I was in, it was really aggressive. But then when I was over jumps or maybe just in the higher RPMs, it was really smooth. Like really controllable, really smooth, really predictable power, which I really liked. And that kind of suits my style. You know, I'm usually higher in the RPMs. I like revving them up a bit, so I didn't notice the bottom end rich feeling. I mean, like I said, maybe just a little bit. And maybe they reflashed the ECU too, and maybe that's not why I'm noticing it, but that's good. Brakes are amazing on it. I didn't bother setting the sag to exactly where it should be and stuff because the suspension's coming off tonight anyway. So I'm gonna have to redo all that anyway, so I just wanted to get a feel for it. But it does oversteer quite a bit. So I suspect if I get that back end set properly and stop the front forks from diving so much into the corner, it's not gonna oversteer like that. So that should fix my cornering quite a bit, because that was a spot that I wasn't comfortable whatsoever. So we'll get that fixed up. But overall the bike is really awesome. And as you can see, it's pretty busy here today out at Raymond. Track was super beat up, super dusty. It's a good test for the bike, honestly, and I'm really happy with it. So I gotta load everything up, and then we're starting the long trek home again, another 3.5 hours home, and I'll get to work on taking the suspension off so I can bring it into the shop. So without further ado, I'm gonna do that.
Where the life force flows, no one knows where the next wind blows. All I know is that I'll follow you. Every day is a mouth bite and a gun to the throat, feeling like a wing-clipped kite floating in a boat. I'll go where the north winds blow.
What a day that was. We got to try out the new bike, which was really awesome. And dude crashed pretty hard, maybe not so awesome. But my day's not done yet. We just got back from the drive. I have to take the suspension off this thing, and that's gonna go in. It's gonna hit revalved, resprung for me, and then the suspension should be good to go. So that's pretty exciting, but I got some work ahead of me to do that still. I gotta get it cleaned up, all that kind of stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. Plus there's gonna be a couple things that I'm gonna get for it to make me feel a little more comfortable. Things like grips, levers, stuff like that I really like. So I gotta get on that. Gotta put a new chain on it. That stock chain's a piece of junk. I hope you liked the video. In the next one, it'll be cool because I'll have the new suspension on it and I'll be able to compare it to riding it with the stock suspension, get that front end to lift up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna drop those down and get some other stuff for it. So really cool, really exciting. Hope you like the vlog. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll get some mods done to this thing, get it set up right, and I'm gonna get started on getting this thing cleaned up and getting the suspension off. See you in the next one.
As you make the bed, so you must lie.